Okay, so basically what we're going to do is go through an example of a business overview. And this won't look exactly like how it would be when you do it, because everyone's different and what their goals are, and things will be different. Their level of understanding within doTERRA will be different. It could be somebody that's not super familiar with oils. It could be somebody has been a customer for a long time. Somebody that might have had some business experience, so they'll look different. This is just helping you to be the receiving end of it, so you see how it feels to you.
Okay.
And then like the challenge for you is like, if there was something like, oh, that didn't sit right with me, that's okay. Like, you can change that when you do a business overview. And the intention of this is really to help people understand what doTERRA has to offer from a financial point of view.
Okay.
So that they can make an educated decision if it's a good fit or not. Okay. Okay, so I have notes here, just so you know. I have like little sticky notes. Normally I have like a sheet, but I couldn't find it. So I just jotted down. So our agenda for the business overview, and this is what I do with someone, is let them know. It's just like with a one-on-one, that you're giving them agenda. Okay, we're going to go over some of your health goals, a little bit about doTERRA, some of the most important or most popular products. So it's the same thing here. You're going to give them an agenda of what we're going to cover so they understand. So basically we're going to go over your financial goals, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how to create income to meet those financial goals. And then we'll talk a little bit about doTERRA and the compensation plan, and then how people get started with the business. Now, you don't have to commit to doing this as a business, but if you do see this as a good fit for you, then of course I'm going to help you get started with that. Okay, does that sound good?
Yes.
Does that sound good, Adrian? You're muted. Sweet. Okay, so, and I'm just going to take some notes as far as what your financial goals are. So what are some of the things that you would want to accomplish financially?
Financially, I was talking to Adrian earlier, and right now it's like I'm babysitting, and with that babysitting, I'm doing my doTERRA, buying my products, and doing a little bit extra. And what I do to help my husband, I paid what is the food for the house.
Okay. So right now, with the babysitting, you're helping to compensate for food.
Compensate, and that's what I do. Like, I try to get as much as I can on my how do you say that word? Escaped my mind, sorry. To save food as much as I can in my storage for when summer comes, because I don't work during that time. I don't babysit. Most of the months of when vacation is done, I don't also work at all. I do also like a little extra time at school, do breakfast, and that gets me $100, and I do it every single day of the week, and it gives me $100. So eventually, all these part times, I would like to be done and just stick with one work. It doesn't sound to me like it's there, but I want to. So my goal is to financially get, and I don't want to be like too ambitious, like I was telling Adrian. I was thinking maybe hopefully 500 a month. Because that's how much I do right now, approximately.
So if you were to be able to make 500 with doTERRA, you could quit your part-time jobs.
Pretty much. Like, it's one of the things. But if I'm able to keep the babysitting, because it's after school, it's like a playtime with my kids. I pick him up after school and all this stuff. But it's not as bad, because I won't be able to be paying. Like right now, I'm struggling a little bit because I use that money instead of just using it for just my storage and my food for the month. I take it out and I pay some of that percentage with doTERRA for the items that I try to get so I can show people.
Got it. Okay.
So that's why.
Okay. So then let's just say that you got to the point where you were making the $500 a month, kind of freed up some of your time, not having to do the breakfasts. What would be, like, after you reach that goal, what would be your next goal? What do you see as being, is there anything else that you would like to accomplish financially for you and your family?
If I reach that one, and it's like about dreaming to me.
This
I'm
is
gonna
like
start dreaming. I would love to get extra money to take my kids out. I say, go to Knox Ferry Farm, go to a trip. I would love to do that for them. And I feel like sometimes they'll tell me like, oh, mama, let's go to yogurts. And I will say, oh, just a minute. Just let me see how much we have. We always have a budget. And that's what they always tell me. Do we have money to do this? And I would say, no, we got to save it, which is good at the same time because I want them to learn. And I'm about to finish a class of the church offer for managing your money, independent. And so I'm doing it. So I'm showing them, okay, this is what we need to do. So now we're doing, if we want to go out, we're doing the jar, which we put money in this jar. And when we fill it up, about $70, then we go out and buy food. Other than that, if they want to go out or do something like that, I told them, no, we can't yet. It's not fair. But I want them to see that too, because they're working towards it. But yeah, definitely, I would like to one day be able to go out and do things where I'm not so worried all the time. Okay, I have to take this out. No, I can't take it out of my food for the week. And I most of the times I cook. We don't really get to get out and depends on what restaurants we pick. Even if they want to, sometimes that we can't. It's like, oh, we can afford that this week, but we can still save for that. So my goal is to be more, I don't know, I heard one time that it says that you don't have to be rich, but money does help to relax a little bit more. And that's my goal. I just want to relax and say, yes, we can go there.
Okay. So basically, let me recap. Right now, you're working part-time to make sure you guys have food and be able to save up a little bit of food for times when maybe the income isn't coming in. And so you'd like to be able to replace that. That's about $500 a month. And still be able to do babysitting if you want, would be added bonus. And once you reach that, then you'd want to be able to create extra money so that it wouldn't be so maybe worrisome, worrying about money, being able to do a few more things with your kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Be able to take him out. Usually we don't because of that. And we do a lot of camping in a budget, but we do camping a lot. But things like just to have fun, to take him to places that we haven't seen. And why not? One day take a trip. I would love to go to my country. So
and have you thought much about like education for your kids, or what some of their goals are, that besides like, well, I want to go to Knott's Berry Farm?
That's another thing. My kids have, one wants gymnastic, the other one wanted basketball, and they want to be in sports and things like that. We can't afford it right now. So that's another thing. Like, but the money, it's really like budget on us. So we have, one of them is in music, and it's tutoring, and we haven't been able to afford that. The other one, wants to do gymnastic, and I investigated. It's quite
It's
expensive.
expensive. Yeah.
It's very expensive. And then the other one said, well, why don't we just do like, even if we want to, and I've been looking into it, like the YMCA, where it's like a family um, registration, the whole entire family. It's also expensive, about $100 to do it per month. We can't really afford it. So things like that I'm like, oh, it would be nice that we can all go and have a nice swim. Then we don't have to worry about, oh, it's not summer yet.
Okay. Well, right. And so it'd probably be nice to be able to get past the part where you're just making sure that the basic needs are met of your family, and then being able to have these other experiences, whether it's sports, gymnastics, or whatever. And also,
It also will help them. So
okay. Yeah, and I think it's important to help your kids see that there's progression in life. Like, we work hard, but we're not in the same spot. Just like we work hard and we keep, like, we're on a treadmill. Like, I'm working hard, but I'm getting nowhere. Like, you're working hard, but you're working towards these goals and you're being able to accomplish them.
yes.
So that's good to be able to list that out and map it out. And generally what happens is people, they'll be able to work towards that goal. And when you reach that goal, then you're able to set new goals. And oftentimes you build confidence in yourself and what you're doing, that you're able to, stretch yourself a little bit more and stretch yourself a little bit more. But it's important to be able to set those goals where you are able to accomplish them and you see that occurring. So what I want to share with you now is just a little bit about compensation, like different ways that we can create income. So I'm going to share my screen with you. One second. And can you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want financial security and freedom?
Right. And it's liberating to be able to create financial security where you're not worried about, am I going to have food? Am I going to be able to pay the bills? That can be a reality for people. And I'm just kind of talk about different ways that we create income by first sharing this story. And you probably heard it before, but I'm just going to recap it. Is that this man who lived in a village, there was no water source. So he would travel down to the water source and he would haul buckets of water back for his family. And then he decided, well, what if I created a job for myself where I'm hauling buckets for other people and they're paying for the water? And so the more trips he took, the more money he made. It's kind of like babysitting. The more you babysit, the more you get paid, right?
Yes.
And one day, he decided, well, what if I could take a little bit of extra time and a little bit extra money and I start digging this pipeline? And of course it took work and it took some time and a little bit of extra money, but eventually he was able to turn on the spigot of water so that he wasn't hauling buckets anymore, but he would get paid over and over again for that work that he did in the past. And so that's really being able to build a financial pipeline is what a lot of people are doing to create that financial security and freedom. So I was going to skip this real fast, but I want to talk about two ways that we can bring income into our homes. One is the traditional way of bringing in income. So that would be we're trading our time for money. So that's where we're employed or we're self-employed. So you have a job, someone's paying you. If you show up, you get paid. Or you're self-employed where you're babysitting, right? You work and you get paid.
Yeah.
And so that's a great way to be able to provide for your basic needs and things. And this is where 95% of the population is at. Like 95% of people trade their time for money. But that's only where 5% of the wealth is in that place. And you end up paying the most taxes because there's not ways for you to write off, have like a lot of deductions for that. And you're hauling buckets. So really, you're limited by the amount of time that you have. You have 24 hours a day. And there's a maximum amount of time you can spend creating income. So there is another way of creating income. It's residual income. And oftentimes people will use their traditional income to start building residual income. And so this is where you're creating a system or you're using money or you're building a team of people that brings in income. So just like that guy, he created a pipeline. That was some kind of system that he created. And so he ended up getting paid over and over again for that instead of hauling buckets. And so with doTERRA, we start creating a team. So it's not just my time. So I'm not just enrolling people, but you're creating a team of people who are also enrolling people, and they're creating teams of people. So it's in a sense creating a financial pipeline that every time all those people on your team purchase, you receive income. And so every single month through the rest of your life, you will receive that income every month. And that's if you're building this team or this system. I'm going to skip through this real fast, but this is really where you can create the wealth, because you're not trading your time for money. Because we only have so much time, but when we create a system, it's almost like now we have how many people on our team? If we have 5 people on our team, we have 24 hours for all those people, and then it just duplicates. It keeps going down. So our story was that we initially were doing that. My husband had a job. He works hours. He gets paid. And I created my own business, almost like babysitting. It's like your own business in a sense. And if I showed up and I did my stuff, I would get paid. And the more I worked, the more I could get paid. But I saw that we're just not really getting ahead. And there wasn't a lot of financial security in that. And so that's really when doTERRA had kind of come into our life, and loved the essential oils. And then somebody shared with us, we learned about this could be a way of creating that residual income. And so I just want to explain that a little bit better as far as what that is, network marketing. So with doTERRA, we get memberships, right? To get your oils, you can get them at wholesale. Awesome. It's like a Costco membership. You pay so much, you can go in there and shop at the wholesale price. And every time that we sign someone up, we get that fast start bonus, which is awesome. That's like extra money. I sign someone up, $100, I get $20. But that is hauling buckets, because if that's just the model that I have in my mind, is that the more people I sign up, the more I make, I'm going to keep having to haul the buckets. I have to keep taking the trip down to the river, haul the buckets, haul the buckets, haul the buckets. And so doTERRA has this residual income component to it. This is really cool. And so let's just say that you enroll 4 people, right? And this could be friends, family, whatever, but you enroll these people and you get paid your fast start bonus, but you also get paid, eventually you get paid that unilevel commission. That's where it's just a small percentage of whatever they purchase. But every single time they make a purchase, you get a percentage of that. So I like to create an analogy of, well, what if you were connecting people to Costco? Let's just say, hey, Costco's awesome. I love it. I love being able to go in there and shop. And there's a membership fee. But every time that you sign someone up, you get a small bit from that. It's kind of like a referral bonus. But then every single time they go in there and purchase, you're going to get a small percentage of it. Every single time. So if they fall in love with Costco and they go there on a monthly basis, every single time they purchase, Costco's going to send you a check. That's basically what doTERRA is doing, is that every time, like, you're connecting people to doTERRA through that membership, but every single time they make a purchase, you're going to get a small percentage of it. Now, and the cool part is that these people that you signed up, they can also sign up people. They can also say, hey, Costco's great, or hey, doTERRA's great. Here's how you use it. Here's how you get the wholesale price. And you start building this team. Now you're not just getting a small percent of those 4 people, but you're getting a small percent of all those other people. And then it works down in that way. And so that's really the way that we create residual income. So I started this, 8 years ago or so, 7, 8 years ago. And it was just me, and I was sharing with a few people, and those few people started sharing with more people. Eventually, it's in Mexico and all these places. I've never been there, but every month I receive a small percentage of everybody's purchase that month that's on my team. And that is residual income. So I'm getting paid over and over and over again for signing up those initial people and helping them learn how to use oils. And so that's the power of residual income. And that's how you can get out of some of our struggles with with our finances, is that we're not just trading our time for money, because you can only babysit so much. And you can only feed school lunch to people so much. And yes, you could maybe get a job and get a raise, but you're still going to have to show up to get paid. And this way, you're showing up, you're doing the work, but you're going to get paid over and over again. So that's the power of residual income. And I'm not going to go into the rest of that. But do you have any questions about that? Like just that idea, that concept?
No, I understand it.
Okay. So how do you create income in doTERRA? We kind of talked a little bit about that. Now, are you someone that likes a lot of details? Like you want to understand a lot about the compensation plan, or just kind of an overview about the highlights of it?
It depends.
Okay.
Depends. If I understand everything, then you can go overview. Like right now, I understand everything. But if I don't understand something, I can always ask you.
Okay. So let me stop sharing that and we will share. Now, this is the the business overview. And so you can get this on doTERRA.com under, it's like the Empower Success. They have the like a lifestyle overview, live guide. They have a guide that helps you to share, and then they have this build guide, which is the business overview. It goes over the business. So let me find that one. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me go to the beginning. So in this, it's more of a comprehensive guide. So we talked a little bit about residual income, and we're going to talk a little bit about doTERRA and why doTERRA is a great place to create the residual income, because there's other network marketing companies, or you could go buy a home and rent it out, and that creates residual income, but you're going to have a lot of money to do that. But why doTERRA is nice is because you can start your business for a relatively small amount of money compared to traditional businesses. So $100 a month might seem like a lot, but in comparison to like going and buying a McDonald's franchise, like this is really, really small. And why this is such a good opportunity is that doTERRA has a 65% retention rate. And what that means is that if I were to enroll 100 people, that 65 of those generally would make a purchase on a regular basis. And most other network marketing companies, that's around 10%. So you could be doing the same amount of time and effort and work, but instead of having 65 people, you'd have 10 people. So that means maybe you have a pipeline, but it's not coming out as fast. But with doTERRA, more people are seeing results because of the quality of the oils, that they're starting to use them on a regular basis. This is becoming a lot of times their primary source of healthcare. They're trying to prevent going to the doctor and eliminating some of those costs. And so that's huge as far as creating a stable business, because if I had, which I have around 68,000 people now who are on my team, if 65% of those are making a purchase on a regular basis, that's a huge deal. And that's a lot different than 10% of them, right? So that's why this is a really great opportunity with doTERRA. And people are looking for natural ways to take care of their health. And there was just a study done that said that half of those people are are willing and open to trying essential oils. And so it's like we are able to connect people with doTERRA, and that's really what we're doing. And there'll be some people who are not interested, but there are a lot of people who are interested, and we're just the ones that are connecting them to doTERRA, and we get paid for that. Okay, so the compensation plan, I'm just going to cruise down here, and we're going to look at, because you said if you were to make it around $500 a month, that would be one of the first goal is to get there. And then you could reevaluate on being able to reach some other goals. And so I want to point out to you right here, in doTERRA, there's different ways to achieve income. And so one of the ways you can achieve income is by creating a rank. And we'll talk about it in just a second. But I want to point that out, that there's a rank that will help you to produce income. And then there is some other different bonuses. Let me scan down here. So we'll start with this fast start bonus, which you're familiar with, that if you enroll someone, you're going to earn 20%. And that's 20% for the first 60 days. So if you enrolled somebody in December, you get 20% of that. And then if they made an order in January, you get paid 20% for that. And so that's nice. That's income that comes immediately. So you can enroll more people, you get more fast start. So you could set a goal and say, okay, if I wanted to make $500 extra a month, how many people would I need to enroll? That would be one way to do it. And you may not have the time to do that, but that's one way that you could do it. The second is building a team. And that's really what I'm doing, is I am building a team of people who want to help people with their health. And so when you are thinking that way, I'm building a team, you can receive up to a $1,500 bonus for doing that. Every single month you get this power of 3 bonus. And so that's where you had 3 people and they do 100 PV order too. And so they're loving the oils. They're probably partnering with you and building a team also. So it might be like Iris or somebody. They're also trying to build a team. You get a $50 bonus. That's cool every single month. Now, once you help those 3 people, or once you have those 3 people, now you're helping them to build their teams. And so they're finding their 3 people. And once those 3 found their 3, you get a $250 bonus. And then once those 3 on each of those on that level have 3 people that they're working with, you could earn a $1,500 bonus. That's every single month. So that's far more than the 500. That's 3 times more than the 500. If you're thinking, I'm building a team, and I'm building a team of people who want to help people with their health. And there are a lot of people out there who would want to do that, or who financially could benefit from that and also be able to use essential oils. So if you're thinking in that way, I can initially be enrolling people, get my fast start bonuses, but if I'm building a team, that's probably the fastest way for you to be able to reach that $500 goal.
I am trying to build a team. I'm looking for, like, my thinking was I need at least 4 people who are my sales.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it would be great to have 3, but a 4 would not hurt me.
No, in fact, that's really smart way of doing it.
So right now I just got 1 person to be with me, and so I'm looking for hopefully another one, and then that's my purpose, like, to hopefully I could get 4 on my team, and then also teach them that they need to get 3 4 people. Yes.
Yep.
So that's my goal too, to get people to, like, sell and be honest to them and tell them the same thing, like, it's going to take a while. It's taken me a while too, but to get people for them so that can help them in their income.
Yep, exactly.
And
so that would be probably one of the things that I would be focusing on most for you right now, because it's probably the fastest way to get there. Even if you just got to the $250 bonus of the power of 3, and you're combining that with the fast start bonuses, like, you're continuing to enroll customers and sharing the opportunity with those people as well. But so you're earning that fast start bonus, you're earning the power of 3 bonus, and over time that continues to build, that you'll be receiving a unilevel bonus. So that's where you're not getting the fast start, the 20% anymore, but every time somebody purchases, depending on what level they're on, you're earning 2%, 3%, 5%, depending on where they're at. And that just builds over time. So I wouldn't be concerned so much about this. Know that that's growing, but you don't really see it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But then going back to the Premier, that rank of Premier, understanding what that is, because there is a added bonuses that you get for reaching the rank of a Premier, and every month that you are Premier. So Premier is this. Say this is you right here, and you have 2 people on your front line, and each of those 2 people have 2,000 in volume. and your overall volume is 5,000. So an extra 1,000 comes somewhere. It could be in one of these legs. It could be people on your front line somewhere else, but overall is 5,000. So let's say this is you. Let's just say this is Iris or whoever, and this is another leg. And then you're just working towards building your customer base, you know, and they're trying to find builders. They're trying to build their team. And as you do that, their volume will continue to grow. And when you reach this structure where they each have that 2,000 in each, under, you know, and their overall volume is 2,000, that doTERRA will pay you a premier bonus. And so that's usually another couple $100. Mm-hmm. So if you combine that $200 with, if you're getting the 250 bonus, that's 450 plus your any fast start bonuses that you're getting because you're enrolling, but you also get that 10% if one of the people you enroll someone. So that can combine to be able to reach that $500 a month. So those would be kind of the things that I would focus on. And then working towards that $1,500 a month Power of 3 bonus. So basically you're getting your 50 and then you're helping your builders to create their $50 bonus they're building their teams, and they're going to help their teams get their $50 bonus, and it can perpetuate that way. So does all that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So skipping down, if you were brand new, what I would have you do is just kind of fill this out. We talked a little bit about these goals already. Earning more income, like if you have goals, if you are in debt, to get out of debt. These are just some other things to be thinking about. For you individually, you have these pretty immediate goals that you'd want to reach. And some of these other things come as you reach that goal. So maybe you want to be able to give more. Maybe you want to be able to contribute to others who are in need. Maybe you want to get out of debt, or maybe it's time to get a new car. You know, there's certain things that will come up, and just be aware that this can help provide for those things without having to be super stressed and worried.
Okay.
So generally with new people, what I would do is just find out what their level of commitment is as far as the amount of time that they're willing to commit. So basically everyone's doing the same thing. It's just the amount of hours that they put in, because the more hours you put in, just the faster it goes. So there are some people who work and they only have so many hours. They just have to understand it will just take them longer to get there. Mm-hmm. And for you, for instance, if you're working part-time, but you reach that $500 goal and you're able to quit some of the part-time work you're doing, that might free up your time to do more. And then it compounds because now you're putting in more hours and it's going faster.
Yes.
That makes sense. So where do you see yourself as far as hours per week? 3 to 5 hours, 5 or 10 to 15 hours, or 15 to 30 hours?
Right now, I'm doing the 4 hours.
Okay. So that's on target to be able to reach that goal of Premier, and be working towards the Power of 3 bonus. And so knowing that's about the income that you'd be able to create by doing that part-time. And then once you reach there, like I said, you can reevaluate. Do I want to put more hours into it? Do I want to take the hours I was babysitting or doing school lunch time? Do I want to put those towards doTERRA now? And you'll have that opportunity to do that if that's what you wanted to do. Okay. So then let me just scroll down to like what the next steps are for you. A little bit different, but I'll share with if you were giving a business overview to someone. So the next steps would be, if this is a good fit, if this is, you're seeing this is something you want to do, then we want to set up a time to have a business orientation, and where we go a little bit more in depth in the compensation plan. We make sure that we understand your goals, and we get you set up on, it's our Launch Your Business training. And that business training it helps you to understand how to invite people, how to teach them, set up like a one-on-one or a group appointment, and just really help them get started. Oh, you can talk to them if they need something.
Okay, just a minute. What, Travis? Yes, it is. Yes, you can come in. There it is.
I apologize.
Sorry about that.
You're fine.
He left his phone in here. He needed it. Okay, sorry. I interrupted you.
Yeah, so the next steps is that we set up that orientation. And then we get you set up with the launch your business. And in that, it's a training that is self-paced, and you can go through it in a couple of days, or you can go through it in a week or two. But basically, that will help you to know how to invite people, how to talk to them about essential oils, how to teach them, and you can get to decide if you want to do that on like one-on-one, or if you want to do it in a group, like you're having classes. And so it teaches you how to do that, and we help you to do that. So is this something you, go ahead.
This is for me, or I can do it with other people that I invite?
Yeah, so exactly. I was giving you the version of this is, you're going to be going to do a business overview. Say, for instance, you're doing this with Iris or someone that you want to see if they're open to it, right? You spend time, you're doing this business overview. Now you're letting them understand what the next steps are. And so I would ask you, if you weren't doing doTERRA already, I would be asking you, so is this something that you would like to get involved in? Does this seem like a good fit for you?
Okay.
And you just let them answer. You're like, yeah, I think I could see myself doing that. Or they might be like, I'm not sure. And you just let them talk about if there's any concerns that they have. They might say, I'm not sure if I have, the time, or I'm not sure how to do this. And that's where you're talking about, well, we do have the training for that. So if I could help you to know what to say or know what to do, is that something that you would be open to doing and partnering with?
I would like to take this class. Now, I would like to take it with Edie's.
Okay.
Because I want her to, everything that you're telling me right now, I would love to her to know it too. To see where are we supposed to be building towards eventually, like you said, she doesn't have to work. And this could be her business for her. Right now she's doing it because it's the medicine. And she's doing it because she's like, I'm tired of pills and pain pills. And she's like, it worked so nice. And that's why she's doing it. And she's telling other people because they do the same thing, the same work, and they do it all day long because they do it with their bodies, and that's what they do. And that's what they work. So she's giving them this product to them to say, look, you don't have to just keep on having medicine. So the most of the she's selling right now, she told me, it was deep for the muscles.
For pain.
For pain. So, and most of them, and sometimes they're really tired and they can't sleep. And so things like that to relax. Past tense was one of the ones when I went to show it. That was one of the ones that I sold to 3 people when I was there, like right away. So it's things like that that I want her to see eventually, to see that if she can get more people. And I don't think there's a lot of doTERRA towards that place, and there's a few doing it, because one of my cousins told me she tried it to get in the business and it didn't work. It was just too much. And back then she said it wasn't really a lot of options towards right now. It was either you are a seller and that was it.
Right.
So now it's like a little bit different. And
or you can just be a customer, right?
Yeah, you can
be
a
customer. Most people are customers. Yeah. So with those next steps, so imagine like this was your first business overview and you think like, I want to do this, right? So then the next step for me would, I just set up a time where we can go, it's like an orientation. And there is one that's recorded on the Launch Your Business training that you can go through. And I would make sure that you get signed up and hooked up with that. And I help you go through the process of learning what to say. So you're not just selling a bottle of Deep Blue, you're really connecting people to doTERRA and being able to get their own account, because you don't want to be hauling buckets. Like, I don't want to be the one, like, I'm always providing the oils for you, or I always have to go sell more oils. You really want to educate people enough that they understand the top 10 essential oils, how to use them, and how to get their own membership so that they can purchase on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to create more work for yourself. You want them to be empowered with a membership and how to use the oils. And then those are the people that will be purchasing on a regular basis. And those are the ones that are really finding the value in the oils. And among those customers, that's generally where you'll find your other team members, that they may have a financial need or goal, or maybe they just want to contribute. They want to help people with their health. There's a lot of different reasons, a lot of different motivations for people in wanting to do the business. And that's why, so in the example that we just went through with this business overview, is that you start by asking them what their goals are and what's motivating to them. Because somebody may not be, they might like, I have enough money for food, but I hate my job.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to have the same amount of income, but not be working where I work. I hate it. And that might be their motivation. Or it might be somebody else's. I just, like, money's not really an issue for us, but I don't feel like I'm making an impact. Like, I want to contribute more. And so you never know what their goals are. And so that's why if you watch this or if you take notes, you'll see you kind of go through that agenda. You want to make sure you understand their goals and then help them to understand residual income and that a little bit different model than hauling buckets. And being able to create that. And then a little bit about the compensation plan, not too much, just depending on what their goals are, and highlighting a few of those key points with the fast start bonus, building a team, getting the Power 3 bonus, and possibly the ranks. It depends. And then, asking the question, like, is this something you could see yourself doing? Or would you want to get started? And just really giving them the opportunity to say yes or no. And it might be, yes, but I need to think about it, or yes, but not till after Christmas, or it might be, heck yes, like, how do I get started? I'm super excited. You'll get those people like, this just has been an answer to their prayer.
Okay.
So that's kind of basics of a business overview. Do you have any questions about it, or Adrienne?
Yeah, for this lesson, for this class, so that's another time that I need to do.
Yeah, so usually the process is you invite someone to learn about oils, you teach them, right? Whether that's in a group or if it's individually, you teach them. And they want to get oils, great. You help them get a membership. They generally will get a kit. And then after that, you do a follow-up appointment, which we call a membership overview. But it's basically just a follow-up, making sure that they understand how to use their oils. They know how to use the loyalty rewards program. Like, how do I get more oils, right? Or if there's something else that I want, how do I get them? You need to help them to understand that. And it's generally after that, like at the end of that appointment, is where you ask them, hey, I am doing doTERRA and I'm creating a team of people who are helping other people with their health. Is that something you'd be open to learning about and creating extra income? And if they say yes, that's when you set up a time to do this, what we just barely did. And this is the business overview.
Okay.
So there's 3 different things that we teach. One is the basic essential oils class, one-on-one, whatever. We do the membership overview. That's the follow-up appointment. Make sure they know how to use their oils. This is good customer service, taking care of your customers. And then the business overview. At the end of that, we just invite them, hey, there's a lot of people that have financial needs or want to help people or whatever. And so those are the 3 ones that we do. And so,
is this one in Spanish, Stacy?
I don't know if they've come out with it yet. I think on Share Success, there is a Spanish version of this. I don't know if it's on doTERRA's site yet, but sharesuccess.com has the Spanish version.
Share Success?
Yep, sharesuccess.com.
And it's called like this, the business lunch.
Let me show you. I'll unshare my screen, and we'll go.
If I want to see it with Edie's together.
Yeah, let me just go to hold on. Where am I? I will just share my desktop. It might look a little weird, but okay. So if you go to sharesuccess.com, and it goes slow. And then go under this library. Is it in Spanish? I know they had it in Spanish. I might have to get back to you with the link of where the Spanish one is.
Stacy?
Yes, you may know.
Well, I know Daniela Romay has done one, and it may be in YouTube, a YouTube video.
Okay.
Yeah, so she did a business overview, which is something that those in Spanish could just watch it. And so instead of you teaching it and using the guide, but I know there's a Spanish one also, but if you think it's easier for somebody just to watch a video and you can watch it together and they are able to understand doTERRA and how they would create income. And then you're just helping them get started.
Okay. I just want Edie's to also get it. I think I showed her once one, and that's the one that it got her started. So
was it a business like a YouTube video?
It was the pipe.
Okay, so maybe it was the one that Daniela did.
It was about the pipe, the one that we watch.
Okay.
And I watch it too.
And it was in Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then that's probably the one, and we can just get the link again.
Okay, I'll look it up, and I think they had more videos than just that one where it showed more things about it. So I'll look for it.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean the basic idea, and we have the scripts in Spanish, so we don't have the launch your business, like all of the training in Spanish, but basically you can help connect the dots for her. Like she needs to be able to learn how to invite people to learn more, how to teach them, how to enroll them, and then do the membership overview and the business overview in Spanish. So we have the scripts that are available for that. You would just have to help connect her to that.
Yes.
Because the launch your business training is in English. But you really don't, I mean, it's pretty basic. Like, this is what you say, and you can help her.
Yeah. I think I got it from Adrian in Spanish.
Okay.
So.
Very cool.
And I think, Chewy, I just shared the appointment script with you. So I will connect you to all of the scripts.
But I think